Parkville Waffle House. All four were in their 20s, including Tarian Sanderlin, an employee at the restaurant. Joe Perez, his mother, writing on Facebook, "Today's the hardest day of my life." Aquila da Silva was a student at Middle Tennessee State University, his girlfriend recovering as well after being wounded. And D'Ebony Groves, a senior at Belmont University. She was eating with her sorority sisters when police say 29-year-old Travis Reinking started shooting an AR-15 through the window from outside. He then went inside the restaurant, opening fire again.
Once he got inside, it sounded like he just sprayed the rest of his bullets out.
Witnesses say he paused to reload, and that's when James Shaw rushed the suspect, wrestling the gun away but burning his hands on the gun's hot barrel.
You have to do this now, or it's not going to be. If I let him load that weapon, it wasn't going to be another window. It wasn't going to be another chance.
This morning, authorities are revealing Reinking's history of mental illness. According to a 2016 incident report, police in Illinois were called to a CVS parking lot where he was delusional and believed Taylor Swift was harassing him, stalking, and hacking his phone. And last year, the Secret Service arrested him for trespassing near the White House. During that investigation, police confiscated those weapons, including the AR-15 he allegedly used at the Waffle House. But investigators say Reinking's father got those guns back and gave them to his son. Candace Gibson, ABC News, New York.
Southwest Airlines is starting to cancel flights so it can inspect engines. It's part of the response to last week's deadly mid-air engine explosion. Almost 1,000 people attended a memorial for Jennifer Warden last night. She was partially sucked out of a broken window on the plane and died. Southwest canceled about 40 flights yesterday for inspections. The airline says the inspections are part of the voluntary program it announced last week. On Friday, the FAA ordered the inspections. Barbara Bush was laid to rest over the weekend after more than 5 decades in the public eye. Her husband of 73 years, former President George H.W. Bush, was in the front row. The couple's 5 children, including former President George W. Bush, sat nearby. Some of the most prominent names in American politics crossed party lines to pay their respects. First Lady Melania Trump sat alongside former presidents and former First Ladies. Barbara Bush was buried at her husband's presidential library in College Station, Texas. Right now it is 6:13. You're taking a live look at Boise from the Grove Hotel, part of our Toyota Dealers Tower Cam network. We'll be right back with the forecast.
You're waking up with 6 on Your Side News. Good morning, Idaho.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. Adopting a dog through a breeder might seem like a great way to find a pet that's perfect for you and your family, but the Better Business Bureau has noticed a spike in puppy scams through BBB's Scam Tracker. So Veronica Craker is joining us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, tell us about these scams.
Right. Well, so in the past 2 months in the state of Idaho, we've received 4 dog purchase scams, and 3 of those lost money, a combined total of $1,600. And in all those cases, they came across a dog breeder's website that looked really authentic. Of course, anyone can build a website these days, so you have to dig a little bit deeper.
Okay, so what tricks are these scammers using to con their victims?
Right, so of course all these victims are able to see photos of the dogs, but they never got to see them in person, which is a big red flag. And then in some cases, the scammers created these elaborate stories to play on the buyer's emotions, trying to convince them to spend money on a dog they haven't seen. One scammer said they were very religious and they only wanted to sell to someone of a similar faith, so doing whatever they could to get some money out of them. And then finally they had them pay by wire transfer or of course gift card, which is a big no-no.
Oh, don't do a gift card, no. So what do you recommend for shoppers when they're looking to buy from a breeder?
Well, try to buy from a breeder that you can actually go and visit, so you can see the dog and make sure they're healthy and they're happy. And then of course don't pay by wire transfer or gift card, and consider adopting from a shelter, because then you can actually see the dog in person and find one that best suits you and your family.
So always try to get there in person. That's the biggest thing.
Yep.
Make sure you're actually seeing what you're going to get.
Exactly.
All right, Veronica, the great advice. You can always head to bbb.org for much more information and ways to help you shop wisely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now the On Your Side forecast.
And a great day to take the dog out for a walk. It will be a lot like it was over the weekend with no clouds, though, in southwest Idaho. Still a little bit breezy, and it's a chilly start. Our view showing the sky lightening up here from our Toyota Tower Cam network camera on top of the Red Lion Hotel. 40 degrees right now in Boise. There is a breeze out of the west-northwest at 9 miles per hour. That makes it feel like 34 right now in Boise. Some wind chill readings around the valley, and especially to the south and east of us, below freezing, so less than 32 degrees. 12 mile per hour wind in Caldwell with 40 degrees makes it feel like about 33 there. Similar situation, although the temperature a little bit higher in Ontario. The wind is also a little bit stronger, and in Mountain Home we have 41 degrees with a 16 mile per hour wind. A little less wind around mountain locations. It will be breezy though today, and we do have a slight possibility of some snow showers showing up in the east central mountains as this area of low pressure still spins its wheels. The moisture wrapping around that, some of it could dive down out of the north and into the east central mountains, so we could get a snowflake or two. In fact, some locations from Stanley off towards Salmon and off toward the Continental Divide could get 1 to 2 inches, but not much chance here in southwest Idaho of any precipitation. In fact, we have clear skies, and that will remain the case as high pressure builds in from the northwest. But with that low just to the east of us, we're stuck between, and that means some breezy conditions today. It is breezy this morning, and we'll continue to see that wind through this afternoon. Then this ridge of high pressure really takes over as we move through the work week. Temperatures will rise into the 70s starting tomorrow. We're likely to hit the 80s as soon as Thursday, and by Friday we're expecting to see mid-80s in some valley locations, but a storm system will come in late in the day on Friday, bringing a chance of showers and thunderstorms, especially over the weekend and especially on Saturday. In the meantime, sunny today, northwest winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Our afternoon high in Boise at 66 degrees. Some valley locations, especially in the lower valley, will come close to, if not hitting, 70 degrees. In the west central mountains, partly cloudy, but still breezy, especially down around Idaho City. Those locations up in the east, or rather west central mountains around McCall, the possibility of a snow flurry early this morning, but that will be it. We'll see sunshine come in the afternoon. Mostly cloudy though for the east central mountains. You see those clouds coming in from the north, and that brings the possibility of some snow showers this morning, but some clearing by late in the day. Partly cloudy for the Magic Valley. Slight chance of some early morning rain showers, and afternoon highs pretty much right around 60 degrees. Here is your extended forecast. Again, 66 in Boise today, already into the 70s tomorrow at 73 degrees. We'll have a very nice week. If you're one of those who's looking for warmer weather, you'll get it. We hit the 80s by Thursday. On Friday, some clouds moving in, but not before we hit 84 degrees for the afternoon high, and then that chance of showers and thunderstorms starting on Friday afternoon. Highest likelihood of those on Saturday. Notice our afternoon highs on the weekend cool down, but they're still warmer than it was yesterday when we only hit the mid to upper 60s. 6:19 now. It's prom season. After the break, we'll introduce you to a young man who chose to honor his mother for the big dance. Right now, look at today's school lunch menus.
In a torn up town, no postcode envy, but every song's like gold teeth, gray goose.
Good morning, Idaho. Happy Monday. It is 6:23. You're taking a live look at Boise from the Red Lion Toyota Dealers Tower Cam network. Welcome back. Chocolate lovers came together over the weekend to celebrate their love for the sweet treat. Wish I could have taken a road trip for this one. This is the International Chocolate Festival happening in California over the weekend. The festival featured a chance to meet master chefs, hear talks, and sample the sweet confection in forms you might not ever have imagined. It was expected to draw up to 15,000 people.
You have to be careful when you're tasting at those things. You can easily taste too much.
Yeah.
But it's fun. Well, the royal family is preparing to welcome its newest member. Overnight, Kate Middleton was admitted to the hospital in the early stages of labor. Outside the Lindo wing of St. Mary's Hospital, diehard fans have already staked out their spots awaiting the newest royal. The Duchess is pregnant with her and Prince William's third child. The new arrival will have a brother and sister, Prince George and Princess Charlotte. Once the new royal arrives, Kensington Palace will confirm the news, revealing whether the couple welcomed another prince or princess.
Oh, big news this morning. Well, it's a boy again for one Michigan family. Jake and Terry Schwan are celebrating the birth of their 14th son,
Whoa.
Finley. Yes, the family's gotten used to the spotlight. The media has been covering their expanding family for years. There they all are. They'll even be the focus of a documentary on the Lifetime Network in June. 14 boys.
That's a lot.
This morning we have an inspiring promposal story gone viral.
It's all about looking like $1 million and asking the right person to go with you, right? Well, one young man brought his mom because she never went to a prom of her own. ABC's Adrian Bankert has the story.
It was the ultimate promposal, and one that made this Philadelphia high school senior and his mom Instagram famous.
Everybody was so amazed. They was like, "That's your mom?" And I said, "Yes."
It started with Nasir Al-Farouk wanting to show appreciation to his mother, Fatima Farouk, for all the sacrifices she made for him. Fatima gave birth to Nasir when she was still in high school and skipped her big dance.
I was 6 months old. She didn't want to go to the prom because all the money she had to buy her first apartment to take care of me.
So he asked Mom to come to his prom.
It made me feel good as a mom that I raised such an amazing son that would actually think about me years down the line after I told him about the story, about my story.
With the help of a friend, Nasir gave Mom a makeover. A family member designed their matching outfits.
The color of the dress is my favorite color. He picked that out.
Some of Nasir's classmates mistook Fatima for a student.
I was like, "I'm Nasir's mom." It was like, "No, you're not."
This memory forging an even stronger bond between the two.
I do feel like a chapter has been closed in my life, considering that it started and ended with the same person.
She's like a queen, like I'm the prince. And I just love her so much from the bottom of my heart.
So sweet. It's 6:26 right now. Let's take a look at traffic with Carl B. in the On Your Side Traffic Center. Good morning, Carl.
Good morning, Jillian. This On Your Side traffic report is brought to you by Larry Miller Dodge. It's normal freeway speeds on eastbound I-84 between Napa and Boise right now. It looks like a 17 to 18-minute commute. There are no delays on the connector from the Flying Y to 13th downtown. Traffic's picking up on State Street, Chinden Boulevard, and on Eagle Road. I'm Carl B. in the On Your Side Traffic Center.
Thanks, Carl. At 6:26 now, some high school seniors are coming together to ask the question, if you had a limited time to live, what would you do? A look at their documentary is coming up next.
It is beautiful this year, and I'm hoping that means it's going to be a little less snowy at the top.
Plus, billed as the toughest half marathon in the Northwest, hundreds made the race to Roby Creek over the weekend. We'll take a look at the finish line coming up.
You're waking up with 6 on Your Side News. Good morning, Idaho.
Good morning. Thanks for starting your Monday with us here on Good Morning Idaho. I'm Jillian Garrix. Rachel Garceau is taking this Monday off. So Steve is keeping an eye on the forecast for us, and not too bad a forecast.
No, it's actually looking pretty good if you like heat. Some people may be complaining about the heat by the time we get to Friday. It's 40 degrees right now in Boise, 35 in McCall, and 36 right now in Baker City. Notice the cool temperatures in Oregon and Washington, but that will change as we go through the day. Along the coast, we're seeing temperatures in the low to middle 40s right now. High pressure is building in. We see a few clouds still over the east central mountains. May see a snow shower too. In fact, it looks like there's a snow shower moving just to the north of Sun Valley right now. We could see 1 or 2 inches from Sun Valley eastward. Just a slight chance of a snowflake or two around McCall. Cool start, sunny but breezy this afternoon. 80s by Friday, when we'll hit 84 coming up.
New this morning, the Napa Police Department is looking for a person of interest after a late-night stabbing. Officers are asking for your help locating 37-year-old Paula Gaitan. According to Napa Police, the stabbing happened on 1st Street North. Police were called to the hospital last night around 10:45 when an 18-year-old woman and a 25-year-old woman both arrived with serious injuries. If you have any more information about the stabbing or Gaitan's location, call Crime Stoppers at 208-343-COPS. And the search continues for a stabbing suspect in Ontario after a 43-year-old man was found collapsed on a sidewalk there with several stab wounds. The victim was found on Southeast 5th near Lanterman Kiwanis Park around 8:30 yesterday morning. He's now hospitalized in critical condition. If you witnessed any suspicious activity near the park, you're urged to contact the Ontario Police Department. Search teams are still looking for the body of a man who went missing in the Snake River Saturday afternoon near Celebration Park. Deputies from Ada, Canyon, and Owyhee County spent hours over the weekend searching the Swan Falls Dam area by boat and helicopter. The Ada County Sheriff's Office says the man and a woman fell out of a canoe when it tipped. It does not appear they were wearing life jackets. The woman was able to swim to shore. Ada County is leading the investigation. Scammers are targeting Treasure Valley residents posing as Meridian police officers. The callers are being told they have an unpaid ticket, they skipped out on jury duty, or they have a warrant out for their arrest. The scammers typically ask for some kind of money to avoid arrest. The Meridian Police Department says these calls are not coming from their office, and if you get one, immediately hang up the phone and report it to police. Regents Blue Shield of Idaho is now distributing nearly 1 million prescription drug disposal bags to locations across the state. Many people have unused prescription medicines in their home, but don't know how to safely dispose of them. 46 police stations in Idaho now have bins for confidential medication disposal. And on April 28th, there will also be a national drug take-back program. That's coming up on Saturday. For more information, head to DEA.gov. Death is about the last thing on the mind of high school seniors, yet a small group of local students has been focused on the subject for months. But as Michelle Edmonds explains, there's a twist on the tough topic that's changing their lives.
Some local broadcasting students are asking a profound question. If you had a limited time to live, what would you do? It's the basis for their documentary that will be released this week.
India, Asia.
This movie trailer looks like a high-end production company spent some big bucks to produce it. Not so much.
They're in harmonizing keys, so we can run this one under it.
A 30-minute film on the meaning of life was created in a classroom by a small group of Eagle High students.
So much pressure.
Treasure Valley Hospice brought the idea to broadcasting teacher Andy Favor.
I think people fight death so hard that they lose their vision on really what's important.
The goal? To get people talking, not about dying, but instead about living.
I didn't want it to be sad either. I wanted it fresh and new.
None of us have really thought about death, or not like just the concept. It's kind of abstract, and it's not something people like to think about.
But phrase an interview question about how best to live, and suddenly people started pouring out their hopes and dreams.
I would like to think that in my last days, I would give thanks to the people around me.
When you interview these people and you hear their story and you hear what's important when they're facing, life and death decisions, you can't help but be touched by those people. And I think all these kids were touched by this experience.
The students say this documentary gave them a whole new perspective on their own future.
Our first interview was Phyllis, a 102-year-old woman who resides in Napa, Idaho.
I was born in Atwater, Minnesota, 1915.
I remember like 5 years of my life maybe, and she had this breadth of experience from living across the country, and it just blew my mind.
The filmmakers also realized everyone's journey in both living and dying is truly unique. But sitting in that same teal chair...
Aiden's our big guy, he carries the teal chair around.
Each person they interviewed circled back to the same thought.
I think the biggest takeaway from everybody is like relationships with other people, and not as much what you do in life, but who you're with.
A lesson learned by these graduating seniors who tackled a major project together and built lifelong relationships because of it.
The Teal Chair documentary debuts this Thursday night at the Jump Building downtown. They're expecting about 500 people to attend. There are still a few tickets left. You can get them at treasurevalleyhospice.com. Then just click on the Teal Chair.
Can't wait to watch that. Well, a unique tour of the Treasure Valley was offered Sunday on board a Boeing B-17 Madras Maiden. Only 13 of these World War II airplanes still fly worldwide. The nonprofit Liberty Foundation offered flights and tours inside the antique aircraft, which proved to be an important piece of military machinery in the 1940s. Yoga lovers around the Treasure Valley are stretching for a good cause. Yesterday, Body Calm Yoga Studio and Spa hosted classes benefiting the Ronald McDonald House. The charity often becomes a home away from home for families while children receive serious medical care. Body Calm is just one of many local studios participating in Yoga for the Greater Good. Each month, the group picks different charities to support.
As yoga studios, we like to be part of our community and give back to charities. There's so much need out there in the community. Last month, we did one for Meridian Canine Rescue to help out the dogs.
If you want to suggest a charity for a future workshop, you can contact Body Calm on Facebook. Proceeds go toward their monthly cause. On Earth Day Sunday, it was all about hobbits at one local shop focusing on Middle Earth Day. Repop Gifts unveiled their latest prop replica installation inspired by and built to look just like Bilbo Baggins' Hobbit hole from The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. They even had a costume contest inspiring shoppers to show up as their favorite Tolkien characters.
So somewhere where you could actually have an experience and be part of the scenes from the different movies or something that you're a fan of and bond with other people who have the same interests and see what other people are creating.
Because it was Earth Day and hobbits are great gardeners, free veggie seed packets were also handed out to anyone who came in. It's known as one of the toughest half marathons in the Northwest and one dedicated runners in the Treasure Valley have been looking forward to since this time last year. We're talking about the race to Roby Creek. 6 on Your Side's photojournalist Matt Boland was there.
I love a community event like this. I really like the camaraderie of the race. I feel like, everyone is excited and that really pumps up the crowd, and I just enjoy, running together with people who feel like your friends. So.
It is beautiful this year, and I'm hoping that means it's going to be a little less snowy at the top.
I left Oklahoma, driving in a Pontiac, tobacco blues. I was born with the people lost in the crime. My baby said it's crazy, my mama called me lazy, running through a mountain.
I was really happy when I saw the top of the hill because I knew that I could probably finish after that. I normally stick to the track. I'm a 10K runner on the track, and this is my first half marathon and first Roby.
I was 3rd last year and I was 5th a few years back, but I finally came in with a little bit of fitness, and it paid off even with the heat, which I'm not quite used to. This is a very well-aided event, and I'll be happy to do this again for years to come.
Happy Roby Day! Happy Roby Day!
Oh man, it's one of those things that I feel like it should be on my Idaho bucket list to run this, but I don't know if I ever could. How do you even train for that? You gotta
well, apparently to get in 5th and 3rd you don't have to be fit, but to be 1st then you need to get some fitness. Wow.
Oh,
and some sunburn pictures on Facebook as a result of Roby Creek. There was plenty of sunshine over the weekend. There is sunshine in our forecast for today, and pretty much throughout the whole week until we get to the end of the week we'll start to see some clouds move in, but at the same time we'll see temperatures rise into the 80s. And here's a view of Boise from our Toyota Tower Cam on top of the Red Lion Hotel. The temperature at the Boise Airport right now is 40, and we do have a breeze out of the west-northwest, making it feel like 34 degrees right now in Boise. An area of low pressure moving out of eastern Idaho as high pressure builds in from the northwest, and that means windy conditions when we're stuck between those two features. So it feels like 32 right now in Mountain Home, feels like 27 in Twin Falls. A chilly start to the day, but we'll warm up into the mid-60s once again. Some valley locations could hit 70 degrees, but as you head out or send the kids out to the bus stop this morning, be sure to put a jacket on. It feels pretty chilly out there. It will remain breezy this afternoon, 64 by the time the kids head home. We get up to 66 for the high. That's the last of the 60s in our extended forecast. I'll tell you when we'll hit 84 coming up.
President Trump is back in Washington after a busy weekend on Twitter. I'm ABC's Janae Norman with his defense of his longtime attorney and incorrect claim about North Korea coming up.
You're waking up with 6 on Your Side News. Good morning, Idaho.
President Trump is back in Washington after a busy weekend on Twitter. He fired off more than 24 tweets tackling everything from big news about North Korea to defending his longtime personal attorney who is under criminal investigation. ABC's Janae Norman has the details from Washington.
President Trump is standing by his longtime lawyer and fiercely loyal fixer, Michael Cohen.
I will do anything to protect Mr. Trump.
Cohen is the subject of a criminal investigation. The New York Times reporting he may cooperate with federal investigators, leading the president to lash out, tweeting, "Sorry, I don't see Michael doing that, despite the horrible witch hunt and the dishonest media."
Why is the president, though, talking about the notion of Michael Cohen flipping if the president didn't do anything wrong?
You have to look at everything the president has said about Michael Cohen and the FBI raid. He's defending someone who he's worked with and known for a dozen-plus years, Dana, who he thinks is being treated unfairly.
A source telling ABC News, quote, "Michael Cohen will never flip."
This is an epic battle for the soul and the cooperation of Michael Cohen. And prosecutors have enormous weapons at their disposal. They can threaten him essentially with life imprisonment. They can threaten his parents. They can threaten his spouse.
Also on the president's Twitter feed, news out of North Korea and the announcement the country would suspend nuclear weapons testing and plans to close its nuclear test site. But President Trump incorrectly claiming they have agreed to denuclearization.
Kim Jong-un has learned about public relations and is setting it up well for him. He views having deliverable nuclear weapons as his ticket to dying as an old man in his bed.
And this all comes as President Trump is planning a face-to-face meeting with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. He said that meeting could happen in late May or June. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife will arrive in Washington, D.C. this afternoon for their 3-day visit. They'll plant a tree with President Trump and First Lady Melania, then head off to George Washington's Mount Vernon estate. And then tomorrow is the official state dinner. Macron will also speak to Congress while he's here and ask for the U.S. to keep up military action in Syria. Mike Pompeo could make history this week, but not necessarily in a good way. President Trump's election for Secretary of State could get a rare no vote from Washington, D.C. John Lawrence reports.
It's a big day for Mike Pompeo.
I think Mike Pompeo will go down as one of the great Secretary of States.
President Trump's pick for Secretary of State faces a vote from the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, and it's expected to be an unfavorable recommendation.
Their base abhors this president so much, and vice versa. Under ordinary times, he would be confirmed overwhelmingly.
According to the Senate Historian's Office, a Secretary of State nominee has never received anything other than a favorable report by the Committee on Foreign Relations. And the last time a cabinet-level nominee got an unfavorable committee report was John Tower when he was nominated for Defense Secretary in 1989.
I'm just not sure he's the guy who will be a moderating influence on a president who seems to make important decisions rather quickly.
If you're asking me, should he then on Tuesday be confirmed as Secretary of State, or Monday, I guess is when the vote's up, I don't support that, no.
Hillary Clinton had one negative vote from the committee when she was nominated as Secretary of State. John Kerry's vote was unanimously positive. There have been instances of non-cabinet, executive, and judicial nominations getting non-favorable reports and still getting confirmed. Even if Monday's vote is negative, his nomination will still go to the full Senate. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
And so far, no Democrats say they will back Pompeo. And with Senator Rand Paul opposed and Senator John McCain fighting cancer, the Republicans need a Democrat to vote yes. That's assuming the rest of the GOP senators support Pompeo. After the break, we'll check in with Steve Liebenthal with a look at this Monday forecast. Good morning, Idaho.
You're waking up with 6 on Your Side News. Good morning, Idaho.
Welcome back. It is 6:49. This Friday is Arbor Day, and this morning Anna Silver is live with some ideas on how you can celebrate in the City of Trees. Good morning, Anna.
Good morning, Jillian. Well, we're right outside of our station, actually, and I'm here with Betty Muniz. She's with the Idaho Forest Products Commission. And so tell us some of the things that you guys do out on a daily basis.
Well, we're the Forest Products Commission. We provide information and education about Idaho's forests. Forests cover 40% of the state, 21 million acres, and they're just incredible. They provide great jobs. They provide wonderful products, paper, wood and paper products both. When we harvest and replant, we have healthy forests, and they're renewable and sustainable. Not only that, most Idahoans love them because of the recreation and the beauty.
We have a lot of City of Trees here in the Gem State, and of course this Friday is Arbor Day, and we have a little seedling in our hands here. Tell us about what we're doing this Friday.
This Friday is Arbor Day. It's always the last Friday in April, and we are having a celebration down at the State House at 10 o'clock. And if you can't make the celebration, we're going to be planting a tree. We're going to be celebrating the winner of our poster contest, which is now a photo contest. And there are some great photos. You should come see it. But if you can't get down to the State House, go to one of the Home Depots or go to Whole Foods or go to the Boise Co-op and you'll get a seedling.
All right, so just like this one, you'll be able to pick one of those up for free this Friday for Arbor Day. And what else would you like to let folks know for this weekend?
Well, trees are so important. They touch our lives every day, and the things that we enjoy, they make our lives better, but they also bring 20,000 jobs to Idaho and over $2 billion to our economy. So as long as we keep planting trees and we keep growing trees for the future, our future grows in Idaho forests.
All right, well, thank you so much, Betty. And that's, again, you can get those seedlings at Home Depot's Boise Co-op this Friday. Live here in Napa, Anna Silver, 6 on your side.